things sometimes that sound
I said it before, the financial cost
as one of the many
was enormous.
It was a God experience. I just wanted to find God.
Simply feeling like you're inspired isn't always so.
Tell us about the solution.
As one of
People with 18 to 35 years of age start out at work.
Hey, I don't have the skill for this particular problem to solve this particular problem.
None of us talked about the bread seller.
Welcome to the Heart of the Matter. My name is Omilola Oshikoya. Our topic for today is Do It Afraid. What do you think when you hear the phrase do it afraid? Well, it means doing that thing that makes you afraid. The thing is that before you start a business or you follow your dreams or fulfill your dreams, most times you feel fear. But the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that successful people feel the fear and do it anyway. I'd like to say they do it afraid. On today's episode, we'll be talking to Goke Balogun, founder of So Fresh Neighborhood Market, who has managed to create impact and get a paycheck while at it. What's his Do It Afraid story? Well, stick around and find out. My name is Omilola Oshikoya. I am Africa's premier wealth coach, and my goal is to inspire millennials to do it afraid and live the richer life. Many people do not fulfill their dreams because of different types of fear. What they do not realize is that fear is part of the process to success. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that successful people feel the fear and do it afraid. Our goal is to give you courage to fulfill your dreams and to encourage you in the process. We have a lineup of successful individuals who will be sharing their respective journeys in the process of fulfilling their dreams. Come and be inspired. Welcome, Goke, to the Heart of the Matter.
Thank you very much.
So tell us, you started So Fresh about 8 years ago. Where were you before you started So Fresh?
Okay, so I was working. I had experiences with one of Nigeria's biggest fast food industry company, and then I moved to another beverage company, Coca-Cola. Then I was working in an oil company. So I had about 13 years of experience. But in between working at my last place, that's the oil company, I started So Fresh with my wife.
So why did you were in an oil and gas company, for crying out loud. That's some people's dream in life. Once they get to oil and gas, they have blown. So what frustration did you have? Why did you feel the need to resign to start So Fresh?
So it was personal. So at the start, the business came about initially from the frustrations we had, me and my wife. And so when we got into Lagos as a young couple, 2009, and then I'd had a lot of experiences going to the market with my mom as well. And then, of course, because I was in university, I'd gone to serve and all of that. I had not done that in a long while. But then when I got married and I came to Lagos again, I started reliving those times, where I had to go to the market with my wife. It was dirty, it was smelling. You had to walk distances just to, buy fruits and vegetables. And they were not as fresh as what I was used to coming from Ilorin, because we had a lot of farms and, gardens in my house. We always had a big compound. So the idea came back that, okay, so this is not a kind of place I like to shop, because I shop with my wife a lot. We always did it together. And so why can't we create something that we would also like, to shop, where we would like to shop at? So I brought up that idea that we can start a farmer's market in a brick and mortar store. And so that was how it started. And so after a while at my place of work, I did not feel the kind of fulfillment I wanted to have.
So you were doing both? So
yeah, I was doing both.
Farmers market and then...
Yes, I started farmers. I was working at the oil company, and then my wife also had a practice law firm. She was practicing, she had clients. But then we thought about this together, and we started even though we were working. And yeah, so at some point into the business, even though I was working, I wasn't feeling the kind of fulfillment, I was getting from my work. And I just believed that I had something more to offer, something more impactful rather than having a big paycheck. And the truth is that the paycheck was big. So it wasn't about the money. It was about, I know I could do something more, with my God-given talents and abilities. And
Okay, so all well and good. A lot of people are like, yes, I have a passion, I want to do this. But was there anything that could have held you back? Did you have any fear? Because like you said, you're leaving a huge company, the stability, a paycheck, to go full-time into the farmer's market at the time. Were there any fears you had?
Oh, I had a lot of fears. So when we were going to start, remember I said we were newly into Lagos. I don't think I knew up to more than 6 people that I'd known, there were even people I knew in Ilorin, because I was not a very, outgoing social type, and we were just new into Lagos. And so even the question we're asking ourselves, how do we get people into the store? I wish we are not going to be wasting money. What if people don't come? So that was, that was the first big, obstacle. That how do we get people into the store? And then eventually, when I was going to leave, so the truth is that I had planned to leave in the first year, and then I'd even dropped my letter, but I withdrew it, because then I thought, I'm going to leave this. The business can't even pay me like a tenth of what I was earning, so it didn't make sense for me to go. So there was all those thoughts going on in my mind. But then a year after, I think myself and my wife, we had the courage to say, let's go for this. Yeah.
And so how's it been since you started?
Yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. Not smooth, very up and down. The first 3 years were very difficult. The business was practically, making loss. Of course, but because I had a relatively good job as well, we were supporting the business, from my salary. And then my wife left our own law practice to focus fully on the business. It was tough. Sales weren't coming. Expenses were piling. And we just didn't see a way out because we started from a small store in Ogba. Of course, that was how much we could afford at that time. And around the 3-year mark, I called my wife and said, we have to take a decision. So we've practically expended all our life savings on this business. And it does not seem as if, it has a future. We need to make a decision whether to continue or, to just close it up. And but then we prayed and we believed that, God was leading us to do this, and we just needed to, pursue some more. So we looked at our business strategy, the market, and all of that, and we took, the most counterintuitive decision, because at that time we had invested a lot of money and everything was gone. But then we decided to invest more, like ×3 of what we had invested, because yes, we got a direct leading, and then we did our market research, and then we believe that if we change our location, we changed some of our strategies. That was where we even changed our name. It used to be called Fruity Veggies, because it was supposed to be about fruits and vegetables only. So we changed to So Fresh, and then we moved to Ikoyi. Let me tell you a brief, a funny story. When we got the property in Ikoyi, we were still there 5 years after. The agent was practically begging us, because he saw us as young couples, not to waste money, that he did not see how a juice and smoothie company will be able to pay for those rent. That he has a small corner shop behind, that we can use that one to start. Okay. And then we said, no, we know what we saw, we know what we're going for, and we wanted it. He said, no, he's not going to take our money now. We should go and come back after 2 days. If we still feel the same way, that he's going to keep the property for us. And so, we came back after 2 days, we paid him. Out of the 7 tenants that started, we're the only 2 people still and we're one of his favorite, clients now. Yeah, so after we moved to Ikoyi, after the first 3 years, since started looking up. So the move paid, eventually, and that was when the business started growing. And so 2013, we go to Ikoyi, 2014, then 2015, we moved to Okpebi. And since then, it's been a fantastic journey.
So what do you do? What products do you offer now? Because it's no longer the
Fruits and vegetables.
just the market, but now what do you do?
Yeah, so we do a whole range of healthy food. We do juices, we do smoothies, salads, wraps, sandwiches, snacks, healthy snacks. Everything is around, freshly produced meals. So all our meals are produced every day fresh. They're all made to order, and then it's all around health, eating healthy and eating fresh, and that's.
Where are your locations?
Okay, we have 6 locations. We have 1 in Abuja and 5 in Lagos. Lagos, we have in Yaba, Okpebi, Lekki, Ikoyi, MMA2, that's the international airport, and Okpebi.
And congratulations, something phenomenal just happened. You were able to raise, how much did you raise?
150 million.
From international investors to take the business to the next level.
I from the Netherlands.
Fantastic, that is amazing.
Thank you.
So, well done.
Thank you very much.
You know what, hold on that. Let's take a quick break, we'll continue after the break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. We're still talking to Goke Balogun of So Fresh. So before we went on the break, we were talking about how you raised over 300,000 euros, yes? In this economic situation in Nigeria from international investors. Fantastic, well done. You're making us proud in Nigeria. So how did you position yourself to be able to raise international funding, and how can other entrepreneurs position themselves properly to be able to attract international funding?
So I think the most important about raising funding, especially external funding, is that the business has to be properly structured, and there needs to be evidence that this business can go on for the long term. You have to remember, whether it's startup, whether it's impact investment or angel investors, it's their money, and they want to see that there is a potential for it to give them returns. So financial discipline. That was something that was key to our operations even from day one. So financial discipline, financial accountability. So all your books must be in place. And evidence of a well-structured organization where there is a management team. And of course, there is a board as well that is running the organization. And so it's not just a one-man show or about one person. And also most importantly is that there must be potential for the business to scale. And so whatever the business strategy is or whatever the idea is, how do you take it from 1 to 10 or from 10 to 100? And I would like to say lastly, it's about the persons as well. Do you know your business? Do you have a good team to actually carry out? So you can have a business that has potential, but do you have the team to actually carry it out and fulfill that potential? So look at your team, financial discipline and accountability, properly structured organization, and potential to scale and be there for the long haul. And I believe these were all the things the investors saw. I mean, it took a long while, it took a long process, because they have to do their due diligence and work with the company, over a long period of time. These are what things they saw, and they decided to make the investment. And particularly important also for this investment we got is an impact investment. So for the investor, one of the things that endeared them to us was the business model. Because we're not just making money, but we're inspiring people to live fresh and live a healthy lifestyle. So that's a powerful impact on the community, on the nation as a whole. When people are healthy, the nation is more productive. And then we also focus a lot on young people and women. We're providing employment. And thirdly, because of the business model, we have the capacity to impact farmers. Because fruits and vegetables, so as we grow, as we scale, we're bringing in more farmers from rural areas. They're supplying us, and then thereby we can impact the poor people in the local areas.
Fantastic. So let's talk about personal development now, because what were you doing? What was your profession in the oil and gas?
Okay, so I read biochemistry, and then I was a marketer when I was with NBC, and then I was in operations production. Okay,
but now you run a business, and it's a completely different kettle of fish. Absolutely. To be an entrepreneur. So were there any courses you did to help you get, to know?
So I did courses, but even before I did courses, I think it's important that, of course, people have different routes to being an entrepreneur. But for me, I can't distance myself from how well I'm doing now to the experiences I had while working. Because like I said, I had operations experience, I had production, I had marketing, I had sales. And all those experiences while I was working galvanized how the business was structured and was run. And then, of course, when I started running the business, I had to take business education. There is no way you can run a business successfully. Knowing how to mix juices, knowing how to sew clothes, being a farmer is very different from the business of doing those things. I always say farming is different from the business of farming. So it's important you get business education. So I went back to school. I went to EDC. That's the Pan Atlantic University Enterprise Development Center. I took a course on business entrepreneurship management. I've done courses with Oxfam as well. I've done courses with Stanford Seed to continuously improve myself. And apart from the formal ones, I constantly, train myself online. There's a lot of resources. So I'm training myself in finance right now. The business has gotten to a stage that I won't become a finance professional, but I need to understand finance and all of that. So it's a continuous process for an entrepreneur. You have to grow yourself and develop yourself in every aspect of your business.
So let's talk about running a business with your wife. How are you able to balance that?
Yeah, so it's tough. I think it's tough. I think it presents a very unique and special, let's say, challenge when you run a business with your wife, because now you have emotions and just being in the same space almost every single time. Yeah, there's almost nothing else to even say or look forward to, because anyway we were at work, all through the day together. And even when I'm trying to, we're trying to, talk, it's still all about the business. So it could get very tiring and, frustrating at times. But for us, I think what has worked for us, even though, despite the challenges, is that we share the same values a lot, and we are both committed and focused on, the mission and the goals of the organization. So, before we started, we both agreed on. So we didn't even have like a formal shareholders agreement, which I advise people to have now with hindsight. But we're able to together agree on what we saw for the business together. And because we had the same goals and the same objectives, it's easier to work together. There will be challenges, and we're getting better, running it as a couple. And I think we've, grown over the last 8 years. But there's been no regrets. I think it's doable, but things must be put in proper perspective. So one thing we also did when we started was, I used to joke with my wife that I don't want you to be Oga's wife in the business, and I don't want to be Madam's husband in the business. So from day one, we all had clear roles. She was in charge of operations and HR, and then I was in charge of strategy, finance, and marketing. So everybody had their roles. They were responsible, they were accountable, and even other members of the team knew exactly what was responsible for each area. So it's important to structure everything properly, so that you're not just impinging on each other's roles and areas of responsibilities.
Fantastic. So finally, what advice do you have for anyone who is afraid to follow their dreams or is about to give up on their dream because of challenges?
I think the first thing I would say is that challenges will always be there, and if there were no challenges, then everybody would have been doing it. It's even in overcoming those challenges that is usually where the business opportunity is. So, our advice, whoever is in that position, to see the challenge as a fuel, to being able to achieve their goals and dreams. Yes, there will be challenges, but there'll always be a way out. There will always be a way out of it. If you think deeply about how you can solve that challenge, and it's in solving that challenge that you even have, a fantastic results. So go for it. And like you said in the beginning, it's about doing it in spite of the fear. The fear will not go away. The obstacle will not go away, but you keep, grinding and grinding and grinding.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your story. The world needs to hear your story.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you one of those people that hates their job and wants to fulfill purpose? Or you're just not fulfilled in your job or what you're currently doing and you want to make impact? You want to fulfill your God-given purpose? Then the Do It Afraid conference is for you. This is our 5th event. We have the 2018 conference, and the theme is flowing with milk and honey, because there's so many opportunities in Nigeria despite the economic situation. You've heard Goke's story, and even with the economic situation, through consistency, they've been able to raise international funding. And so this can be your story too. If you'd like to be at the Do It Afraid conference, it's on the 18th of November 2018 at 2 p.m. To register, the registration details are on the screen. And also the venue is on the screen. For inquiries or sponsorship, send us an email, doitafraid@omilola.com. And make sure you send an email, make sure you register. It's free, but registration is very important. And I hope to see you there. And one day, I hope to be able to interview you, sharing your Do It Afraid story as well. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, HOTM TV. We're also on Facebook, Heart of the Matter, and on YouTube, HOTM channel. Until next week, stay blessed.